Nicola Sturgeon may have hoped that a bitter period in Scottish politics had finally been laid to rest. But that could all change with the return of Alex Salmond.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Today he launched a new political party, Alba, with a single aim: to further the cause of Scottish independence. He says he'll work with the SNP to put pressure on Westminster for a second referendum.
And the independence debate will be recast, not as the Tories against the SNP, but Boris Johnson against Scotland's Parliament representing Scotland's people.
Once at the top of Scottish politics, Mr Salmond has spent the past few years fighting sexual assault allegations in court, fighting the Scottish Government over how they handle those allegations, and in a personal fight with his old ally and successor, Nicola Sturgeon. With accounts of his character flaws mounting, his reputation has taken a hit, but not his confidence. There have been reports that your own legal team were overheard describing you as a bully, a nightmare to work with, a nasty person. You've faced numerous allegations of sexual harassment and assault, albeit that you were cleared of. Why would anyone want to vote for someone like you?
We should accept the results of these court judgments and accept the results of a jury. Most fair-minded people do that.
Technically, the launch was amateurish, but the political strategy behind it is anything but. Mr Salmond says he will use the Scottish electoral system to pick up extra independence votes traditionally out of the reach of the SNP. In the upcoming Scottish elections, if that delivers even a small share of the vote, that could give him a large amount of influence in Holyrood.
If, for example, the SNP were to end up in much the same position as they are at the moment, let us say reasonably modestly, Mr Salmond and a couple of his colleagues are elected, then they might be an alternative source of support for the SNP other than the Greens. The question, I guess, that Ms Sturgeon might be asking herself is, would they be a potential source of support, or might they be at risk of being a thorn in the side?
But is this about more than politics?
I think that an element of this is personal for him, but however, I do think that he does probably also think that he knows how to get Scottish independence. Is this actually going to be helpful to that project, or is it a case of the ego getting in the way?
The question for the SNP now: are Alex Salmond loyalists about to desert them?
It wouldn't surprise me hugely if there were a number of people who have spent a considerable amount of time undermining the First Minister, undermining, frankly, the independence cause, if they were. But I'll be honest, I'm just not giving Alex Salmond, or indeed his new party, much thought. They don't really factor into the equation.
He says he's back to unite Scotland behind independence, but is he about to split the SNP and the voters? We'll find out when they go to the polls in May.